The Middle East, one of the most important regions around the globe, where most of the events occur, can have an impact on the whole world, so it is important to delve deep into everything related to the Middle East. The Middle East stands out as the largest gathering of communities sharing the same language and religion, in addition to its wealth of natural resources. Its distinguished location between continents, rich reserves of oil and minerals, and diverse climate conditions which allow for a variety of agricultural crops. These factors and more make the region a target for both opportunists and investors. When researching the origins of the term, you will find various opinions, but the most accurate and logical one is that the term originated from Great Britain in the late 19th century to use the name as an alternative to the term Arab world and to be used in the same context as naming the Far East. However, what is Britain's interest in obscuring Arab identity and replacing the term Arab or Islamic world with a new term like the Middle East? Actually, we cannot assume good intentions here. The truth is that during this period, Britain had significant colonial ambitions and had colonies in several regions around the world. The red zones represent the Britain colonies around the world during this period. As shown, Britain already had a strong presence in the region, leaving only countries like Turkey, Saudi Arabia, and Iran to dominate the entire region, thus controlling the most important trade routes in the world and the most important sources of wealth. One of the key strategies for expanding its influence in the Arab world was to fragment the countries in the region, which sharing a common language and religion. Britain's policy at the time was to divide and conquer, in addition to including non-Arab and non-Islamic countries under the same designation to dilute the Arab character of the region. Since the idea of the Middle East was introduced, numerous attempts have been made to include more countries in the region, especially those that do not share the same religion or language with Arab countries. There is disagreement on whether some countries fall under the classification of the Middle East or not. As for the undisputed Middle Eastern countries, they are Egypt, Bahrain, Iran, Iraq, Palestine, Jordan, Kuwait, Lebanon, Oman, Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Syria, Turkey, United Arab Emirates, Yemen. While there are other countries that some consider belonging to the region, such as Ethiopia, Somalia, Sudan, Libya, Algeria, Morocco, Afghanistan, and Cyprus, but with weak evidence. Based on the mentioned countries, the total area of the Middle East region is approximately 6.5 million square kilometers, which represents about 1.3% of the total area of the world's countries. According to the latest statistics, the total population of the Middle East is approximately 500 million people, representing around 6.3% of the global population. The predominant religion in the Middle East is Islam, with the region accounting for approximately 25% of the world's Muslim population. The most famous landmarks in the Middle East are the Holy Mosque in Mecca, Saudi Arabia. The Prophet Muhammad Mosque in Medina, Saudi Arabia. Neom City in Saudi Arabia, which is still under construction. The Clock Tower in Saudi Arabia, which is the largest and highest clock in the world. Al-Aqsa Mosque in Palestine. Al-Azhar Mosque in Egypt. The Pyramids in Egypt, one of the 7 wonders of the world. Luxor City in Egypt. Aswan City in Egypt. The Grand Egyptian Museum, which is the largest museum in the world. Pharaonic temples and antiquities in Egypt. Burj Khalifa in the UAE, the tallest tower in the world. Petra in Jordan. Hagia Sophia in Istanbul, Turkey. Alexandria Library in Egypt. This was an overview about the Middle East and the main information which should be gained before we proceed forward in more details. The coming episodes shall cover more details about the Middle East in addition to so excited information, some of them historical and the other related to the current running events. So make sure to subscribe the channel in order not to miss the coming episodes.